afternoon again. Okay, so this one's an unplanned video. Um, but what I'm going to do is share my testimony. Thanks to Noah's Ark, she inspired this. Um, there's a lot to my testimony, probably. Won't fit it all in 10 minutes, but I'll do the best that I can. And if there's any questions that you might still have at the end of the video, please post them. And the more questions that I get, the better. I'll take all of the questions um, after a while and make another video answering all the questions at one time. To try to condense it down for the 10 minutes, I'll just say that, or just start with the fact that growing up, I had looked to people for my happiness. Things at home were never good. Things at home with my mom and my stepdad both. There was a lot of abuse, physical abuse, and verbal abuse. Um, Everyone in my family was pretty much unhappy and depressed, and we just made it worse for each other, to put it mildly. Um, and I usually looked elsewhere for the happiness away from my house, which wasn't always very successful. Mostly because, especially in the younger years, um, I was teased and made fun of at school. So I really didn't have that many friends. And the few friends I had were misfits. I even was teased by my family um, with them saying things like, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you um, get a decent boyfriend? Or why can't you, um, make decent friends and stuff like that?" I guess I was supposed to make friends with the popular kids and date the popular guys, but I had lost so much confidence in myself by the time I was in high school, junior high, high school, um, that I was really passive, and people walked all over me. They saw how unhappy and how little I thought of myself. Kid, people know. People sense your weaknesses and take advantage of that. Um, a lot of people knew who I was, but that to me was not really being popular. I was still just as much made fun of. Um, so I really was unhappy. I struggled with depression off and on. There was times that I thought about hurting myself, but I was even too weak to go through with that. I really was pathetic. I thought I was anyway. Um, it got to the point that finally my mom and them were forced to leave their trailer behind. I later found out that it was not just because of financial situations, but because of some problems that my sister had. My sister got involved with some gangs and stuff in Houston, and that was part of it. And it was while we were living with my grandmother, my brother and I were. My mom and my stepdad were staying with my mom's friend that lived in Louisiana. And we were all just kind of separated while we waited to get our own place again before school started. Um, and my sister had stayed back in Houston. My mom, um, I don't know, I can't explain that one. That's my sister's story to share. But off and on, I had on my own chosen to go to church. I had on my own been seeking God in my own way, wanting to go to church, wanting to learn more about Him. My grandmother was a Christian, and she was a part of my life off and on a lot more when I was very young. Um, But when we were in Houston and at other times in my life where she was too far away, um, it was kind of more of an off and on sort of thing, that she was a part of my life. So her influence was there, but I was mostly going to church by myself, more often than not, and seeking God on my own, reading the Bible on my own, doing Bible study. I have to admit, even more than I've done since I became a Christian. Um, I knew all the Sunday school answers and Sunday school class and whatnot, um, but it was later that I realized that I had been looking to people to be happy. Now, that doesn't seem like a whole lot as far as sin goes, but what stemmed from me doing that was all the bad decisions that I made, all the sinful things that I did, um, people that I hung out with. Um, I dated anyone who would give me attention. After one guy would break up with me, I would date the next person who gave me the slightest bit of attention and made me feel like I meant something to somebody. I was the same way with the people that I hung out with. Even if the people were not the best for me and I was not really doing them any good, um, I still hung out with them because they made me feel like I was somebody. I had been, my self-esteem had been shattered so bad. Um, Even to this day, I've been told that I was a lot like my daughter. I was very outgoing. Um, I had no problems talking with strangers. But I guess because of all the things that had been done to me, I changed over time. I became this pathetic little person who had no self-esteem at all. Um, Still struggled to stand up for myself at times. But God dealt with me when I was listening to some of my Christian music one night at my grandmother's. Everybody else had gone to sleep. And I got into contemporary Christian music while I was attending church off and on, and went to conferences with the youth groups and stuff. And God just simply told me in a voice that only I could hear, obviously. It was just simply this: I'm all you need. Now, before you think I've gone crazy, that's all that was said, and I knew in my heart who it was. Um, I knew that what they, what God was telling me. I had been looking to all these people around me, my mom and everybody, to make me happy, and every time I was let down, um, I let them determine how I felt. And He was letting me know that He was always going to be there for me, and He would not let me down like they did. It was then that I chose to accept Him and accept the relationship that He was offering to me. And I, through that and through the journey since then, have learned what my sins were. I mean, He, through the Holy Spirit, convicts me of the things that I do wrong, the things that I need to change, the things that are keeping me from having a full relation and wonderful relationship with Him. And it's not always been easy. Like the smoking cigarettes has been a struggle. But He's walked me through it, and He's been there when it felt like nobody else was. He's been there. That's the simplest way I could put it, and I'm about to run out of time. Like I said, if you have any questions, just post them down there, and I'll make another video answering all of the questions. We'll say maybe a week or so from now if I have enough questions. Alright? Thanks for listening, you guys. Y'all be blessed.